Hi guys, I hope the audio is uh, okay and not too loud and not too low. So this topic is very close to my heart, and I always wanted to talk about it. This time I'm using a notebook, so uh, don't mind if my eyes move towards that. Because last time I did the video, it became very long and the structure was not clear. So I'm trying to be more uh, uh, concise and try to convey my feelings uh, in better structured manner. So uh, although I have some random things thrown in here like every video of mine, so please don't hate me on that. So let's start. And the goal of this writing was that or making of this video is that somewhere I want because I was seeing a video today related to some mathematical topics and their breakthroughs on some two seemingly unrelated topics, and how in the modern times uh, there is a bridge being made to connect those two topics. I think, if I'm not wrong, it is called Langland's uh, theory. So it is about the relationship between the harmonics and the Fermat's last theorem. So while watching that video, I felt jealous because there was the name of Ramanujan, which we Indians are very proud. But the sad part I felt was that after him, not many Indians name was what I mean to say is after him there was nobody from India, no one from India that achieved something in the field of mathematics. Although Indians are doing very good in many other fields, but after him, I think the progress in or the contribution of Indians in math decreased slightly. Although he was such a great genius, so I felt very jealous that India is not contributing to the research. And although overall as a country India lacks in the department of research and R&D, but it is changing. So hopefully in the future there will be many more great minds contributing to the development of the world. So that was something I was really jealous of. So it put forth the question, since the field of mathematics is very broad. Saying broad is an understatement, because just like language, there are many things connected to it. You cannot just focus on one thing and try to do that, because just like language is the medium. Anything that is a medium to express yourself is math. Although I previously I said it is similar to language, because I think language is the one thing uh, that is the superset containing all the other things. But if you want to specifically go to pinpoint other things, it is similar to that also. For example, mathematics is also same as dancing, the uh, or anything, archery, shooting, anything you want to take. But you if you find this strange, I can reframe my uh, expression as, uh, since we are not that much uh, we have a very conventional way of thinking that something is we bound certain things in certain structures, and we don't think out of that cage or box. So most of the times, art and sciences are two different things. Anything that requires creativity is arts. Anything that is monotonous and experimenters is science. That is not the case. uh, there are many people you know. uh, what I admire the mathematicians of the 70s and the 18s and 90s is, these 3 centuries, is that they took math as it was supposed to be. Format was a format, and Laplace were a hobbyist mathematician and not a particular mathematician doing a particular research. So, isn't that fascinating that non-mathematicians are able to write theorems and find out or create exams and theorems that are still useful, and no one is able to prove or find something groundbreaking like them. So, I think somewhere our education systems lacking shows really in these scenarios when we compare modern education system and that times education system. The difference it created is obvious in today's world. Although I'm not saying that today's people are lazy and didn't contribute anything. I'm just saying the way it is taught to the masses is not the best or ideal way. That is all I'm saying, and this that is something that hinders us somewhere, and we are not able to realize our full potential, and sometimes we end up hating math. That is a very bad goal, and to or the execution of your thinking that the modern society and school system has done, education system has done, because am 200% sure that they didn't want us to hate math. So, coming back to the thing I was saying, that we uh, I mean to say, I said that math is equivalent to a language, because language, as I said, language is a superset that has contained all the expressions or ways of expressions like dancing, singing, and musics. Music is something we all know that many great mathematicians or any genius people working in the field of science often have a thing or two for the music, because many were great pianists or used to listen to classical music. Something there was somewhere there is a relation between musics and geniuses. They often love to play or dabble in the classical musics. So, as I was saying, if you take any medium of expression from one human to another, that is math. You cannot watch one thing separately and the other thing as separately. Everything in the universe is connected, and you cannot watch it isolated from the others. So, uh, uh, also, a disclaimer, I want to make my audience clear that the things I'm teaching about or talking about in all my videos uh, until now, are from the point of view of making a strategy, and not the short-term goal of tactics. I sure hope you know the difference between tactics and strategy. If you are not, let me put it in a very short manner. Strategy is equal to consistency for the long run. Long, I mean very, very long, like 30 to 40 years. That a big chunk or a portion of your life. So that is a strategy. Even in wars, strategies are made for the long term, and whereas tactics equal to efficiency. For the efficiency for completing an immediate task and getting better or most of the desired results. That is the tactics. If you want to know the tactics of learning math or any other thing, there are various many channels, other channels, and they're providing a very good content. But as you know, that when although I am a very keen enthusiast of reading mangas, and manhwas, so I was going to give an example of that for swordsmanship, you are required to be one with your sword. So I was telling you to be one with your mind and body, because yes, let's talk about it further in the video. It will come up. So, what I wanted to talk about was wrong approach about maths that at least Indian school system used to take was, of course, till 10th we are giving the basic foundations for math, and after 10th we are introduced to calculus, and from where we need a thinking shift of how we applied or learned about or math as a subject overall. So I think that that can be reduced, and calculus and other topics that are taught in 11th and 12th can be introduced from 8th class, and with a very small and uh, not not all the functions and formulas, but a brief introduction can be started from there, and little by little add to those details that will make the learning or introduction at 11th and 12th class not heaven and earth, heaven and hell difference that we feel when we are first introduced to 11th and 12th. So more than that, after in my daily life and learning maths day to day, I felt that I needed to discuss this. This approach is not limited to math. Just as I said, language and maths were not that different, because of you can watch my previous videos. Also, just just as this thing will be applicable on math, I will try to extrapolate many things from other things to strategies of studying math, and it is all about making a mindset, because if you have the correct mindset, even if your method is wrong or something is wrong, you will be able to get out of it because of your right mindset. But if your mindset is wrong, no matter what or how correct the way or approach you are trying, somewhere you will get lost from the uh, uh, path. So having a correct mindset is very important, because of course the will is almost that important, but it is your life. You should enjoy it how you want to, and if you feel feels in between or during your life at some point that I need to do this, yes, you will do it. You won't need motivation from others and etc. Also, sometimes I feel people say you won't need motivation because someone said or your goals are not clear. I used to say, I've heard many times as a student in the assembly, many people lecturing us. But now looking back, they were not lecturing, they were true. It's just that my uh, knowledge or the things I was doing, you can say that I was a very, very, very heavily passive in everything. I didn't know much about sports or anything. But I loved using reading about current affairs. That's a plus. So about anything other else, human emotions, relations, and how to deal with people, school life, every other thing, I was very bad, very bad. I didn't have 0 to 5% knowledge, and you are required to know at least 30 to 50% to be adjustive, to be able to adjust in our world. So um, so when these people came and lectured, I was like, I have a very clear goal, I need to work for that, but what you are saying, I'm not able to comprehend it because I didn't have the knowledge about other fields. So my world was very closed, and what they were saying was true for others and might have worked for them because they already had a base, and what they needed was a realization. So I already had the realization, but I didn't have any groundworks or basics for that realization to work. That was the basic difference. So yeah, that is how important a mindset is, because when after a few years, when I was out of school and into the real world, I came to learn about many things, and just as I was learning through that things and looking back what had happened and what other things were taught and told, they started making sense. So had I that is also the point where I got these realizations, and there was a urge that I needed to tell this to everyone. So here we are. So let's, without any delay, start to the wrong main focus of my making of this video is, while doing anything, we have a very wrong approach that for a topic there are many subtopics, and those subtopics are at a first glance seem very different. So many a times what we do is we start a topic, or it's the education system that has been taught to us that you take a topic, you learn it, finish it, and just keep it to that, and you move on to the next topic and take it from the start and learn it, and when you move on to the next topic or the other's topic, you leave it at that. That should not be the case, because we need to take a topic, learn everything about it. It would be best if you pick up a topic of your interest and learn everything about it. Meanwhile, you are learning, there will be many steps, tricks, and procedures related to some other topic, which you will not need a very in-depth knowledge. You need to learn about that part, what is that part, where it came from, what is the context, what is it needed for. These basic questions if are answered, your 90%, I am sure you won't have 90% your 90% of your questions will be answered, and you will gain a context to easily process that and add that new information from uh, that other part, yours. Rest of the 5% is if you are able to see what is need and why this part of from the other subject domain or whatever it is that is you are learning, not the core or related to that thing you are studying, why it was taken from this part only or not the from other section. For example, you are using learning about trigonometry, you are learning sine function, cos functions, but suddenly when they are starting and they are using triangles, or in differentiation, if you are learning about differentiations, they are drawing a line and saying we are finding this slope. So anything between these two, or the graphical representation, or I mean the graphs, because since you are drawing a line, then geometry will be used. May After it is more advanced, you will be using parabolas, ellipses, hyperbolas, and other things, conic sections basically. So these three topics are interrelated heavily. So if you are learning one thing and they are taking triangles, but not differentiation, why? If you are able to understand why this specific portion of triangle was taken instead of differentiation when you are learning about trigonometry, so this is the 5% I'm talking about, that will be complete or give you the understanding about your domain or trigonometry that you love very much. So we you learn everything about trigonometry from A to Z, the um, resources that you could gain at that point of time, and you learn everything from those. And then the next step is very important, you don't forget this. Instead, you use this as a base. You try it when you learn uh, differentiation, or uh, uh, what was the topic I mentioned again? Graphs, conic sections. So you don't start from the scratch. You try to make connections from your field, and uh, with those connections or similarities in your field, or how you tried, matlab, you the base of foundation is set. You will have that base as trigonometry, and using trigonometry you will try to make connections with not making connections. You will learn uh, conic sections on the base of trigonometry. What I mean to say from this is any new information that you gain, you will try to fit it on the model of trigonometry that you have learned already. This will be what can I say, very big part of you, of will take very big part of your time of learning other topics, because you will need to make connections, because nobody does this trick, or not as heavily that we will be doing. But wait me out, it's a little bit, this is a little bit of con, but it will outweigh others pros other techniques pros very heavily. So when you have done that part, you slowly master that subject. But since you have already base in trigonometry and you are applying or making things on that base or trying to fit the new topic, knowledge or subject to that base, it will take some time. But after it has settled, you will not require any other thing to do or learn or mug up to do things. So this is the what can I say, the best part, because even if you don't practice on it, after a long time, if someone gives you, you have the connections, you have everything, and you have the knowledge, you have after that much practice. I uh, practice would be a wrong term because I hate that term many a times. So I will say, after you have done it repetitive times, it will be stored in your muscle memory and in your brain. So with this, I will give you the problem statement that to excel in maths, you need to know all the various fields of math. If not all, about at least the big ones, grinding to learn all somehow to just pass others while you pursue your favorite field. Mm. So I wrote that statement because that is a wrong approach I see very often in field besides mathematics. In mathematics, it is heavily done, but in other fields it is also. Since, just as I said, language and maths are same, so any in your everyday life, anything that I'm talking about in maths will be applied. So I won't embellish this in further videos. So I hope you take this video very seriously, what I'm talking about in and since I will not be mentioning in many other videos, I will just give a hint that what I'm doing in maths is applied to everywhere. So please try to make it as a habit to see math in everything and everything in maths. That is why I said I didn't have my base in 11 and 12th. So what I needed was not the knowledge of maths at that time. What I needed was to broaden my domains to music, or basically the art stuff that is viewed by the society. So that gave me a very good understanding of the world, and I found that everything is maths and maths is everything, because yes, anything in the world is not isolated and should not be seen as isolated. So uh, the today's approach of learning everything is not wrong, but you can learn that, and it has its pros and cons. But what you should not be doing is learning it in a isolated form, and while learning one thing, you learn everything and know everything about it, but when you move on to other stuff, you forget it completely, and you view it as a new information, and then you try to learn it from scratch, and then you move on to some other topic and you learn it from scratch and forget it, learn it from scratch and forget it. This is not the way to do anything at all. So just a second. So there is a common notion that to do or excel at anything in the life, you need to do that repeatedly, or practice as they called, and you need to keep grinding it, and that is why they often say that you need to passionate about it, so that you enjoy that grinding process, and before you know it, you will make it. Nothing wrong with that, but I have some points that I differ on as we continue on this talk. So So I've written a thing that there is a quote called uh, that foolish people do uh, same thing again and again, expecting to be a different output. I have seen a meme somewhere where this quote was written, and below ML was giving looking sideways. So my ML is machine learning to those who don't know, and it works on something like that, doing same thing again and again, uh, to expecting the same results, and when the results are not same, it tries to modify that to get the exact results or something very close to that. So besides that, as the famous quote is, for foolish people, I think foolish people are more genius and geniuses are overrated. I will discuss about that in some other topic, or in third or fourth of my video. It is just a rant. I felt frustrated when I was watching something. I will talk about that later. So, what I am saying is, doing repetitive tasks. Uh, when I was writing this, because at that time, there were too many noises, and it was not possible to make this video. So what I was feeling, I wrote that down. So what I felt was, uh, when people say, or I heard this, or I thought about this quote today, I felt that uh, when you are when I was a very little, or around the age of maybe 8 or 9, I used to uh, fill the mug. In India, we use a mug and a bucket filled with water when we are bathing. So I used to go in bathroom, fill a mug, and try to pour the water and watch this liquid, why it is flowing down, why it is flowing like that. And around many 10 to 15, or at least I think sometimes of 50 times, and every day it was the joy of the childhood, just as children find joy in many small things, to play. Same with the frisbee. I throw frisbee many a times, watching how that frisbee flows or glides in the air when I'm throwing it. So me and my brother, when we are playing, I believe that is what we were actually trying to find. So let me tell you, trying to do things again and again in the same manner and expecting the same results is not foolish. That is how you learn more and enrich yourself, and there is a great satisfaction, and this is what scientists do. It is same as what engineers do when they solve a problem, and when they are able to solve it, that is the sense of satisfaction, is a feeling uh, everybody wants to achieve in their life. That is what people call passion, because you are so invested, you are so focused, you don't know time, many other things that will usually kick in, or you feel those things earlier, that before feeling this feeling, are things you are not passionate about. But when you feel this feeling before sorry, uh, this passionate feeling and achieve sense of achieving before failing or feeling other things like hunger. Just a second. Hunger and tiredness, fatigueness, sleepy, that is when you are not passionate about things, and that is the usual worldview. So What I can say is uh, mine better expression is, or favorite expression to say is that start loving to do the same thing again and again, expecting the same results, so that you will be able to understand the workings behind it, even if the results are different. uh, Mind you, this is for learning. You cannot apply it in the other stuff like wars. You cannot expect to be applying same thing again and again. Although it will take a very long time, but you will need to make changes. I'm remembering one quote from Thomas Alva Edison. uh, what I did was not learn one way of making the light bulb. What I did was how not to make a bulb in thousand ways. And my dear people, that is the very important thing in life also. You don't focus on goals, you for making the goals and selecting one path to achieving it. That is how you do things, or at least this life works. So stop doing that. Instead, make goals, make choose a path or pattern, or that go planning you did to achieve your goal. And while you are doing that, try to correct the parts that you think are wrong and not working, because after making these small adjustments, these adjustments will in the long run pile up and will be a big thing. Your path may be correct, then not much change or deviation. But if it is very wrong, then there will be a huge change in your plan, but you will be able to achieve your goals. So keep that in mind. Also, uh, as a famous quote said, that if you are a foolish person, if you are trying to do uh, same thing again and again and expecting to be the different result, uh, so I'm not a genius. I struggle with math. I struggle with a lot of other things. So seriously, I am no genius. I'm a foolish person, so I cannot I do this. This was a sometimes I will not deny this was a very big this thinking mentality played a big role in me understanding this world or things better. So have be very aware, have a ability to think. If you have the ability somewhere or at some point, even at the place you are thinking or the path you are taking is wrong, but since you have the thinking ability, you will be able to make right choices or gain a understanding of the world. And I can guarantee you that 100%. But just don't stop thinking critically or thinking at all. Don't be like a sheep following the norms of the world blindly. uh, that is actually the renaissance that happened in Europe when people rose against the clergy and the church. So have a bit of that thinking, because in Indian history, and that is the most important thing. And uh, if you take up any of our what do you call that, religious text or anything, or mythological or uh, and, something that I am translating literally, but they are called tooth tales. Tooth, Tooth, Tales. In Hindi, they are called Dant Kathaएं because those were not written and were passed from verbally from one generation to another. So the term came that tooth tales. I hope there is some equivalent term in English also, but I don't know. And this sounded more interesting. So, a very big disclaimer to that expression or the code that I changed is that you need to be very, very specific about your goal while you are repeating those, uh, uh, doing the same thing and expecting the different results or as you know the all the other things I talked about, because you need to think about critically and how can you expand on or apply this to different things. I will leave that as a task to you. uh, Hopefully if I can keep continuing this, someday we will be able to do a live stream and we can chat about this at that time because today is and those things are very common. I don't know when, but if we get to do this in the future, who knows, we can do that. This shows I'm not doing this as a full time, but as a ways of what can I say, ways of letting go away my frustrations that I have. So coming back to the topic, to explain this more clearly, I remember an anime and a scene from that is too fabulous. I watched it around maybe uh, 20 or 2020 or in 2021. The sorry. So the scene is from an anime called Initial D, and Takumi is the DK of this anime. Yes, that is our Tokyo Drift reference from Fast and Furious, and of course they are drifting. So our Takumi is a main character, and he has a tofu shop, and he delivers tofu at around morning 4 to 6. I don't remember the exact timings, but it is around very early in the morning and the roads are empty. So he's drifting and delivering the tofu. He has a uh, cup holder filled with water. If the water or a droplets uh, drips from the glass, then his tofus will be what can I say, will be in very bad shape because they are very fragile, so any shock can break them. So he needs to drift while keeping this in mind, and he does this for many years, 8 to 9 years, which can be very juvenile, seem to be a very juvenile thing to do at that time, but it is a very old anime, so I think it was okay at that time, and that was Japan. So his father taught him how to drift. He's a very big player, although at this point of time he doesn't seem uh, so much of an OP character, but he is, believe me. So it is after I believe 20 to 25, 20 around 20 episodes that his friends get a car and they came to know Takumi can drift very well. So they take him to take part in competitions, and Takumi is Not interested at all. His face when he's drifting is very focused, but he's not enjoying it one bit. You can see that, and that made me very. That made my minds go poof. How can he not enjoy it when he is so good? We will talk about that later, but to proceed with this story is that these friends take him to competitions, and there comes a chance where they go to a very steep mountain track to attack it, and he wins it there. The thing about that mountain track is that pin, as in drifting, you will get to know what pins are. It is very dangerous if you are not able to control the variables. You can fall off to your that because it is a very steep turn. So he tackles it gracefully, and he goes to after winning any drifts in or these unofficial competitions. He drives to home with little to no joyous expression. So same for this one. He goes home, and just after reaching home, he asks his dad that people were making a very big deal about it, but when I was drifting, I didn't feel any or almost no difference when I was when I was delivering tofu's regular every day. Till now, he's still doing that. So, but the people were saying that it is very different. I don't know why I am feeling that. Then his dad says the most unexpected line, because this was a statement I was not expecting, and because he was not even joyous, I thought, yes, he could be feeling conflicted. That is why he's not joyous. So this statement was also very big poof, made my mind go poof. What just happened? Why did he say that? What is it all about? And then it goes, that is very good, Takumi. You should remember that feeling. If you're able to do that, you will do good on any track always. Yeah, all the tracks are same, or the turns or curves are same. Since you are feeling that, that means you are on the right track. And this answer made me realize, was a realization for me, and I was like, huh? Can things be done like in this method also? And yes, is very true. That is why I said you needed to learn a topic in maths or any other field you pick up, and for other topics in that field, you just need to make connections and try to learn it on the base that you have already learned, and try to fit that, and make the most of it, from the previous knowledge you have gained, by fitting it on top the uh, new knowledge on top of the old one. There may be many times that new information needs to be thought in a very different way and manners, but those will be around 30% max to max. Uh, but 70% of the chunk will be your solid knowledge and your solid part of the information. Rest 30, we just need a context. Uh, Comparing to the languages one of my just as regularly used to say, as math is a language. So in a language, different languages, there are different idioms and proverbs, but in those 80 to 90% of the times, the one proverb will have equivalent in other proverb, and if you give the context, then I'm sure 99% of them will have same context, but the wordings are different. So the remaining 1% is what you need to focus on to get context, and after getting the context, you will be like, yes, that is correct. Why didn't our culture or we thought of something like that or equivalent to that? So here is a thing: proverbs and idioms are common across all languages, at least conventional ones. Don't go to those pictorials or whistle that I talked about, because that is a very different structure, so they will not be able to do that. Any language that is culturally very rich, had a long history, will have something like this. Even if they are unconventional, they will have something like this, because they had a very long history and a very rich culture, so they need to have something to convey these to the next or coming generations. These are the wisdom of the elders. So uh, when Takumi said all this, and I was like, this is breaking so many normal conventions in our society, that you need to be very passionate, or you need to have a very hard or very strong motivation or will to, like, you are very open to give, turn the life around, pass this test, XYZ falana dhimkana. So Takumi is nowhere passionate or happy while doing drifting. There is surely no motivation when he shows up or anything, or what can I say, hint of motivation or something similar to that in him while he's drifting uh, in the initial parts. And he's breaking so many norms. What can I say? His father was passionate when he was drifting. So, although at the current point of time, he does not seem, but he's an OG. He is a true OG, believe me. He taught Takumi at the age of 12 or 14 something how to drift a car. So believe me, he's a OG. He knows everything about cars, because Takumi didn't even know about cars. He was not passionate about cars. You just watch the show till that some point. I'm talking about, he goes back to his father and ask why I am not feeling what others are saying about that track is very different, but I felt it was very same. It is same as I talked about. You learn one thing very much in deep, and the most or the resources you have available at that point of time, and learn from those everything that you can learn. When you do that, you will be able to mm, apply that on other things completely unrelated, and it will seem natural and very similar, at least to the point of no differences. So I later did some thinking, and just as I said, keep thinking, never stop thinking. So here we are. Also, it is not that you are never thinking or you never thought till this point in life, or when I'm saying keep thinking, it's just that you are thinking, you are anxious, don't deny that. So you are thinking in a different directions. Start training your mind to think for other things, that you team, I need to do this, I need to do that, what can be a good method to complete my pending task, and so on and so forth. Sometimes there is a lack of knowledge, so try to learn about that thing. How can I do this? You will get watch some YouTube videos, read something on that topic, to one blog or two blogs, You will get the tools on how to do those things. Then think again, how can you restructure these tools to best benefit for yourself or tailor it to yourself, so you can increase the efficiency tactics. But the mindset is what I'm talking about, and that is strategy and long term. So yes, and that blew my mind. And he broke some. You don't need to be passionate. You don't need a very strong goal or like Rambo, Rocky, or dire situations to, or a very strong will to keep on going and things like that. What you need is a focus. That focus, or a very focused like state, that the strong-willed and motivated people usually go to, uh, you also go to it, but you don't realize. Maybe you are thinking, although you are anxious, but you are thinking some people will see and say, what a genius man, what is this air of mystery around him, what are you thinking? Many a time many people ask me, but I was just blankly staring, blank mind. So many a times I was thinking, but many a times I was blank. Being blank is not a problem. That is also a passion, I say. And it helps with many things. You are able to adapt. If you don't need a thing to be in a certain way, you are blank, you adjust, you are able to adapt to almost anything. So not a bad quality to have. It's just that you need to think where you should draw the line, and how to be effective while using it. So Takumi didn't have the passion, didn't have the strong will, or these are the most two important things if you want to succeed in life. So how was he so good, or the DK drifting around his circle, the best at least for the series? The thing, what I can think is, it was in the a little bit in the environment that his father used to drift and deliver tofu. So yes, he was doing like, yes, I have seen you from. I was born to do this. After some point, you are like, yes, I can do it, and you are at to some extent able to do it. And under the guidance of your parents, you are near perfect. So, and the next thing he did was, he without fail every day, remember this, deliver tofu. So he drifted while he was going to deliver that, and not that when he was coming back or any other thing. So the time it was taken is what he did regularly for his rest of the life. I can say in a certain way, to the point the story was being told. So regularly, to that small time, max to max 2 hours, if I can say, going and driving back, in which only when he's going to deliver is the only time he's drifting. After the story starts, he starts to drift at night also, but rest of the time he drives normally and doesn't try to drift all the time. That you can see that he's not doing all the time like a genius, doing all the time. This is what I'm talking about. When you that many conventional things that you are told, this bro, and many things that are the reason you already learn the power of compounding, the small habits. These are all things, but he applied that and he was able to do that. Still, without passionate, doing that was something. There is something go blue, poop, and like a nuclear bomb dropped on my brain. So Yes, that is why you need to think not as everything isolated or inside the box, but everything is connected. When you think like that, you are able to go outside the box. I used to hate people who give don't be these type of things, think outside of the box. How, what, when. Yeah, they don't tell anything about that boss. They just keep saying, just take out of the box. I hate those things. Just keep on practicing. Practicing is the best way to do the things. I hate those things. So actually, what Takumi was, let's change his name to Tony, because that is a very long ass name and it is in Japanese and I'm not able to say that. So from now on, I will be showing Tony. So here's the thing: you don't need to do it in repetitive or like practice. That this is where I'm telling you. You don't need to practice it often. This is just a part of a high learning method. See Justin Sung's video. He is the goat of tactics. So yes, cool. The most of the things I still try to do is learn from him. If you can, you can turn your life around, because small day small changes a day will become a habit. If you do regularly, if they become a habit, it will become your discipline. If you become your discipline, it will become a character. If it becomes a character, it will become your luck. If it becomes your luck, it will become your destiny. And there is a uh, quote something similar to like this. I don't remember, but yes, that is a very powerful quote. And I think it was even before the Atomic Habits or the Principle of Compounding books came out. But I think this quote might have been the cause of it all. And interestingly, I applied this quote. I read it from my school notebook. This quote was there. And then I thought what this quote was trying to say. I made small changes, and suddenly by the eighth grade, I got good grades. Let's end it there, and not go to many things. So yes, at that time I didn't know the principle of compounding, but after the boom of internet, I see everywhere everyone shouting the small habits, principle of compounding, and this is after listening or reading to them. I agreed 100% because I did the practical of that, and this is the theory of that. Things and answers are always there. It's just that you know don't know them, and when you know them and publish them, other people's are able to realize it faster. That realization might have come later on in their life, or they like me have realized it but have not given it a proper structure or form, and might forget it after some time. But since there is a proper structure and form, I can easily say it. This is that principle. I did that. Why don't I go back to that uh, back? Because it worked that time, it will work this time too. And now I even know the theory also, because sometimes people are like they are at a very high and come to a very low, like me. We sometimes wonder how are we not what was the difference that I was at my peak at that time, and now I am at very low. So these are the things which, if you don't have a structure or a naming for them, is very difficult to identify in your life. What is wrong with me? What was right at time? What is that I'm doing wrong now? I'm doing the same thing. So no, you are not doing the same thing. The mentality shift, because life is very long. it happens, your good habits will drop, bad habits will accumulate, and so on and so forth. So keep thinking in the right directions. Because you keep thinking but in wrong directions, and that is where the mindset plays a big role. Also, in the case of Takumi, uh, just as I said, high learning plays a very important role because it reduces the so-called society's practice. Because sometimes you see geniuses that do things one or two times and they don't need to practice as much as you do because they are learning uh, on high level what what is actually needed to be required for that. So for the example of I later realized for when I was learning how to drive, so when attacking a pin, it is not important how the track is, or it is unrelated at all. If I can say, what is important is that with which speed you are going, you need to slow down. But Takumi has some ways or using some other things besides the road, like the water training, little, what do we call those, sewage lines, some little thing like that. He used that to uh, have centrifugal force while drifting, and he can go at faster speeds and overtaking all the others at the points. So yes, brilliant. So going in what speed, how to maintain a particular angular momentum when we are drifting. So these are the things that you needed to learn. And just as I said, he kept repeating same things, expecting different outputs. This is what you learn from that. So that code you can apply in this way. So it is no matter how many times I iterate it, it will never be enough. So that is why I was saying keep thinking in the right direction. A mindset is very important. So when you keep doing things that a foolish person will do, disclaimer, you need to be very specific about your goals. So you keep doing it, and when it uh, uh, Takumi showed your results. So when you're learning on high level and do it for a very long time, you don't need to do it all the time. He for a very long time he just drifted while delivering tofu. At least that is what stated in the story, and I don't think I need to disagree with that. No, he was he was drifting all the time, and that is how he practiced and got perfect. No, he at that time he did, he with a high level of learning, he focused on the necessary points needed to do that, at what speed he should go. And remember, while driving he's not calculating I need to go here like this. Sometimes movie show like that, yes, there are some people who have a thinking process like that, but most of them go by the feel. I need to go this fast, I need to turn this my steering wheel at this point, so I will drift, and so on and so forth. So just as I said, Jack Justin Sung, Justin, 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 Sung. He is from New Zealand, a Korean, and awesome work, groundbreaking. Many things I did when I was at my peak. Sadly, I'm not at my peak now, but those were the things I applied, and he has structured them for me. So yes, the way to go for me. If he's not your type, there are many others. I do follow them, but they are not up to the level I need to break their techniques down to my level. And Justin songs are just more my type. So yes, do that. Highly recommended. So Takumi learned high level of drifting, at what speed to go, when will be the right time to turn my steering wheel, how to go into brakings. He probably mastered all of these basics because this is what you need. If you learned these, I don't think you need to be aware of the corner or what type of corners those are. So yes, his father was very correct. You just need to see. So the same I was thinking. You just need to focus on learning the thing you are very passionate, because let's accept it, in life you will not be able to very passionate about everything and be good at everything. You just need to extrapolate, or have a very strong base in the thing you are very passionate about, and just try to fit the thing you are not very passionate about on the not very passionate is the wrong term, about other things that are related to that field, and uh, in other subject or other topics in that field, and just build on the previous knowledge, or somehow make the relation of yes, and you are good to go. Don't need to learn it from scratch and leave it there. No, they are connected. Try to make the connections. Many things are same, just like the idioms and proverbs. When you are not able to make connections, you will need a context. So you need to have the knowledge that is being by the traditional method of being treating as a separate topic, but when you do that, you don't need to isolate those topics, and you will need to sit by yourself and make connections, that this is same, I was doing in trigonometry, this is same in differentiation, and these are basically same things. And when you have made connections, you have the context, everything is basically the same. but but there will be many a times 1% that will occur many a times, that the subject will have something totally different, but it should have been there. Remember, you can make uh, breakthroughs from this, that if you are able to make the things that is in there in one topic but not in your topic that you learn, and you try to make the same thing in your topic, that will be groundbreaking. Remember that, I 100% guarantee. So yes, this is what I wanted to talk about, that you don't need to start from learning from the scratch. And uh, as I'm saying that, you will have relations to some other topic, like just as I said, differentiation and trigonometry, differentiation and graphs. These three are related, interrelated to each other, but are applied at totally different times and things you are doing. So although they are differently very different, seem to be very different related, but since you are able to feel these things, you will be much better when a new equations come or pops out after your working of the and solving of the things, which I think is the most important aspect, because these people, rest of the traditional geniuses people, are able to create new things, but it is to the other people that they need to rely on to be find their uses, or where to apply those things, or in the case of Ramanujan, if he is not able to uh, he did that, his many of his works were worked upon later, and they are able to now understand and use it. So yes, uh, but when you have this understanding, or not understanding but the feeling, yes, this is what it is saying, and this is how you can instantly apply it, and the effects are uh, people's life are impacted, and the more they work on your thesis, and the more faster it progresses. I hope this video I know this video has gotten very long, so I will stop here, and next time we will think about a very small video. I think about 10 to 15 minutes of math and philosophy, and the next video will be about the ranting of this genius and the foolish. Just as I said, if you we will talk in that, it's just a frustration. So what I wanted to say before to conclude this video, that you don't need to think topics as isolated. You just need to build things like just as I said, the proverb. There are many proverbs that will be already there when you learn the language. So you just need to equivalent in the other language. You just need to learn the while you are learning, or the someone in the traditional education system, when you are being taught the other language, you just need to identify that this proverb is equivalent to this proverb, and you are done, because you already know the I know your strong topic very well, so there will be no problem with the new language and that new proverb. Rest of the time, just as I said, a language has a culture, history, and context. So yes, for that 1% I have a very good example. uh, so I learned a proverb about an African saying, which is which was something I didn't learn in my culture, at least Indian, you can say, and English. I didn't read about that. So the proverb goes like the child that was not given the warmth of the village, comes when he becomes an adult, burns the village to feel the warmth. And this is such an what can I say, this made my mind go boom, on a smaller scale, not of the nuclear scale, but yes, it did make my mind go boom. Why is this saying not in our culture? It is so accurate. The most of the films are on this proverb only, and it shows the face of society and how society works. Don't you think this is an insight in the society, human psychology? So many things I was thinking from this proverb. So yes, again, many things are interrelated. This video, I hope, is was not boring, because this is 1 and 15 hours long. I think it is going to be around 120. So I hope though this doesn't bore you, and if you have watched this long, seriously, hats off, hats off. I hope this will be very beneficial to your life and your children's and your family. Thank you. So, just as I said, the proverb, what I wanted to say, this proverb, you don't need the context, but since you are translated and understood the meaning and what it says, you cannot deny it. No, this is wrong, this doesn't happen in my society. Instead, I was like jealous, why was this proverb not in our culture, or why is there no equivalent to this? There should be. And when I make that equivalent, who do you think I will be in my language? I will be the greatest contributor. In my culture, my people's mind who speak my language, their minds will be blown. No, I will be dropping a nuke on their minds. So imagine the equivalent in maths. You have learned topics. In maths, one thing I also need to say that you will need to know in differentiation. You will need to learn about trigonometry. You cannot escape from that. You will not be able to understand trigonometry if you are not able to understand the topic. But when you are working on a very localized problem, then the technique you need from the trigonometry is not a very big or the very deeper understanding is needed. You just need to know that when you draw a right angle triangle, you need to do it in some way like these are the angles and base and hypotenuse is needed, and this triangle is inside a circle. That is an insight that you will only know when you have watched my previous videos, and how that triangle and angles are interrelated. So, yes, you need deep learning for that, but it was the task of your mentors and teachers to show you that insight. But yes, in today's people, many people don't actively think when doing math, so that is a problem of resource and not something like you need to learn trigonometry from scratch and differentiation from scratch. Also, these are basics till 10th class should have been taught, but no, that's just learn this theorem, just learn this formula, this is how to prove this theorem, this is how to prove this theorem. I literally marked how to prove this theorem and that theorem. So I know and feel the pain, but yes, this should have been the method, and believe me, it will not be that difficult when you are learning. You don't need that much of a deeper knowledge, a little bit thinking, and you will just arrive there. If you are able to just connect the dots, why is a line and here it is a triangle, and angles. If you just know about the angles, you will be able to connect the dots about lines, triangles, angles, and eventually will reach at the circle. So yes, when you do this much, then you have the context. When you have the context of the proverb, you understand it completely, and then you link it to your language, and boom, you are done. So yes, don't be demotivated. I'm also trying this method and learning in the process. So yes, so this is the last thank you and final thank you for listening.